How's it going? Give me a second here. How's everybody doing tonight? Excuse me. It's getting to that time of day. I'm starting to medicate. This is my cup of tea. There we go. Now let's pop out the chat. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get in. So, hey. I'll say hi to everybody once everybody's in here. Hang on now. It's already hot in here. We've got the sap is running. Yay! The sap is running, and we'll be boiling syrup in the next weekend or so. We're going down to visit the kids, I believe, on the 1st of April. April Fools. Bubba rolled over today. She said, it counts, right? Because he rolled to his side first and then to his tummy. And I said, no, if he got from his back to his tummy on his own, under his own steam, we're going to call that his first rollover. It's written in my diary. And, oh my gosh. Yeah, don't look at my hair. I had a shower today, but it's just, it's been a long day. I've been canning and stuff. He's putting out full-on sentences now. No. Now, I'm pretty sure that there's an alien out there that completely understood what he said, but it took me a minute to interpret it. It's like he was really happy to see me. Oh, my goodness. Let me pop out the participants now that everybody's here. Hey, Natalie, Seashell Surf. Hi, Shell. Aloha. Aces, Joe Mama, Kathy Ponder, KB Canner, Linda Bopp, Linda Willardson, Melody Ray, Minnesota Farmer's Wife, Pam, Tammy Wright, Tigger Belson, Susan Fain, and that's all I got for the moment. Now let's pop this back out. Sorry for giving you a view up my nose. So yeah, I've been busy. After this, I have to edit the bone broth video for tomorrow and water all my plants and then go to bed. Hey, Black Rock, how's it going? Melody Ray, Karen, got your coffee? Good job. Good job. So, hey, Mary Jo, how are you, darling? Kathy Ponder, hey, sweetheart. So, I've been just doing the do things. I got my bones finally done and the bone broth can. A lot of people would strain it, and then like sometimes when it comes to chicken and stuff, I'll strain a lot. I'll chill it and I'll take the fat off. But there was so little fat from these bones, and it's such a healthy fat, in my opinion. Animal fats are a healthy fat. Okay. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor, but I looked at it when I opened I put the pot of, I strained it through a strainer, but there's debris and fat and stuff. And I took it out of the fridge, and they had this beautiful pale yellow plate of fat on top, about this thin. And everything else under it was jelly. Perfect. Bone broth is so good for your joints. No, I don't either. So, question, why was there a take two in the grow lights? Both videos seem the same to me. Hey, Freaky. Well, the first video, I wear what is called skorts. These are a skort, okay? Underneath, you can't see. Underneath this skirt is a pair of shorts. I prefer them over shorts because they're much more comfortable and it doesn't ride up in between my legs. But there were a few moments that I bent over and it looked like that I was flashing people. And a couple of people said, hey, Angie. And a couple of people said, well, I got a glimpse of something I didn't want to see. I said, no, you didn't. I said, that's a skirt. It's shorts. There's shorts under that. You didn't see anything but the backs of my legs. And granted, they're not pretty. But I'm telling you, if I was like Michelle Pfeiffer or something bending over in front of the camera, no one would bitch. But the truth is, I'm really sensitive about it. So I took the video down because a couple of people made snarky remarks, and I cropped out my legs. And then I put it back up. Same video, just cropped out my legs. I get them at Giant Tiger here. Was about lights. Why was they looking in other places? Well, because it was kind of hard to miss. If you haven't noticed, Freaky Geek, I have a bodaciously large butt. So, well, some people can be so rude. And you know what? If they think it's some kind of victory that I took it down and cropped it out, it's not. It's because if I hadn't been so damn tired, I would have cropped it out in the first place. Right? Well, I know, Linda. Don't get your knickers in a twist. All right? I get them from catalog, Carolyn Wright, I think. Get what for now? What am I missing? Oh, skirts. Yes, I love them. I've got about 6 of them, and I wear them. The only time I don't wear them is when I'm going out and it's still cold weather, and people would look at me askance if I was walking around with bare legs. But to tell you the truth, I'm so well insulated, I don't notice it. Yeah, I walk out, step outside every day. I got my window open. Step outside in my bare feet every day. Just like J-Lo. Oh, you saucy one. I didn't see anything wrong. It just extra skin. Well, I didn't want to frighten any. Listen, I understood, okay? Right? After Briar was born, and we were visiting at my dad's, and I'd had a shower, and his sliding doors on his bathtub had a mirror. And when I bent over to pick up the towel I dropped, I scared the crap out of myself. Because I never look at my rear end. I really don't. Hey, Lanehart Farms. Making dog food. Whole chickens, 89 cents a pound. Oh, my God. And coding my service doggo girl during a beginning storm. Time for sedation. Right. Well, and the thing is with the heavy thighs, if you wear shorts, they have a tendency, because your thighs rub together, they have a tendency to ride up into the crotch. And it drove me nuts. Well, with skirts, who cares if the shorts ride up into the crotch? The skirt covers it. Well, people can be rude, but that's just the way they are. And, I was hurt at first, and then I realized, you know what? Thanks for the tip. I was that tired. I didn't notice. Normally, you wouldn't see my legs like that. I just added skirts to my Amazon cart. Yeah, I just love them. FYI. They're so comfortable. So what if you see the backs of my legs when I bend over? You're not going to see my underwear, right? You got to be really up close and getting in my business. You can see anything other than, the shorts underneath. Somebody told me, verify this if you can. Somebody told me that the butter, now I'm in Canada here, so somebody told me that the butter at Kroger's was up to $8 a pound. They are looking good, but you know what? I'm going to have to get some more soil and transplant some of them into bigger pots. Excuse me. Oh. Excuse me. I was going to sneeze because something's vibrating up in my nose. Hey, crazy, how's it going? My legs are terrible looking and short and stubby, but they still haul this beat up old body around. Amen. Ow. Amen. Seriously. I mean, every day that I get out of bed, And I stand up under my own steam. I thank God for another day above ground. Because yes, I can be a pain in the butt. Yes, I need help with certain things, but I'm still doing most of my shit myself. Right? God help me if anything. I said to Howie, I was rubbing some liniment into his neck and shoulders before bed last night. Some that amyl gel. Butter has been running special with store coupon, limit 5 pounds, $1.47 a pound. Holy crap. That's the kind of thing I'd be hitting I'd be hitting the stores all over town, like that particular store. Where you going? We're simply, hey, you've got to get back to work. Okay, Jessica, mwah, take care. God bless. Your celery and peppers have not germinated yet. Well, keep them moist. Celery can take up to 2 weeks to germinate, and peppers take about 5 days longer than tomatoes. So that's what I'm finding out anyway. Hey, Lori, how are you? Barbara M, EJ, Mary Cook, Kingdom Artist, Penny Jeffress. Simply Jessica is my mom. Hey, Draken. My mom, and we just adore you. Don't adore me. You can like me. You can love me, but don't adore me. That's for, saints and crap. And that's something I am not. Well, not crap. It's not crap, but thank you. I appreciate it. It's still taking me a lifetime to learn how to take a compliment. But never, ever mistake who I am for anything other than an ordinary, struggling, older, fat woman who just gets through every day trying to, live up to my purpose in life. Oh, guess what? You know what my daughter-in-law asked me today? If I could teach her how to can this summer. Can I get a glory, glory, hallelujah? No, I was really tickled because I got a lot of people in my family that, like Angie, ask Angie, right? She'd phone me and ask me stuff, and I'd say, don't you watch my videos? Well, no, I just figured I'd phone and ask you. I said, I don't got time to sit down and tell you how to do this. Here's the video. Boom, boom, boom. But this summer, I'm going to go down. I think I'm going to friggin' canning pots. They were $129 for years and years and years, and now they're like $300. Friggin' pandemic. But I want to get them if I can. I want to get them a canning pot or a stovetop pressure canner for as a housewarming gift. You know what I mean? I need to make a loaf of bread. I made my bread yesterday. You didn't see it with the beef barley soup because we still had some store-bought bread left. But not now. 3 pounds of chicken wings, $2.97, 3-pound bag, limit 3 bags. They aren't those skinny wings. I like wings and drumsticks for chicken perka or chicken paprikash or chicken paprikash or chicken paprika. Everybody's got their own name for it. So I call it chicken perka. We have to appreciate everyone's talents. Wish I had listened to Mama. I just called her now and she is gone. Do you like brown rice? I'm not fussy on brown rice. It's got a husk. I've never been fussy on it. Add a ball book of canning to the pot. Best canning reference and dehydrating. There you go. Hey, International Cat, how's it going? That's a good idea. That's a good idea, right? Or maybe I will make a book just for her. Just for her. Hell, I'll give it. I think they have a copy of my Our Half Acre Homestead book, and it's got basic canning in that. So, hey, Cassandra Lynn, how are you, darling? Yeah, I'm glad you made it, Kat. So, yeah, she said, maybe this summer. And I thought about it and I thought, well, if Howie's going to be coming down, if we're going down on occasional weekends, I said, what we'll do is if we come down and Howie's helping Arthur work on whatever they're doing, or they're just going to hang out, You and I'll go to the farmer's market and we'll see what's on sale that day, or like say if beans are in season. Because I still have 2 cases of pint jars I haven't even opened yet. So they'll be going into the package. You know what I mean? I have heard of steam canning, but it's pretty much the same as water bath canning. As far as I know, I have never done it. So you don't quote me on that. I may be absolutely totally out of my ballpark, which I probably am. I have heard of it, but I wasn't going to miss you this time. Well, I'm glad. I'm so glad, Rock. Hey, Robin Rose, how's it going? And Minnesota Farmer's Wife. Anywho, how's it going? It's not really approved, but I got a can some cheese sauce here in a couple of days. But I've been doing it for about 20 years and nobody's ever gotten sick yet. You know, though, when I got those cans of the taco cheese and the cheese sauce from Ohio and I brought them home and I canned them, the second or third jar we opened, it was fine, but we all got diarrhea after that. So it's like, nah, I'm not going to risk it. Yeah, it's water bath. If you're going to you're going to can something like cheese, which I don't recommend, pressure can it, guys. I love steam canning. Easier for me. Water bath container with water is too heavy for me to lift. Well, that's why I use a dipper. I use a little pot and I dip out most of it until it's easy for me to manage. These are all things we learn to do as we get older, right? But no, I've never seen a steam canner. I don't really boil bath can much, I do like pickles. And most of my pickles, like dill pickles, which I'm not going to make because we don't eat them that often. But dill pickles, I don't boil bath. I just make sure the jars are hot, sterile hot, and the garlic and the pickles and the dill goes in, and then the boiling brine gets poured over. You put all the cukes in, and the boiling brine gets poured right over till it's overflowing. You snap a lid on, you flip it upside down on the table, and let it do its thing. Hey, Ninja Clan Kathy, how are you? Grabbing cabbage and carrots for dehydration cheap because St. Patty's Day. Oh, I never thought of that. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Well, guess what tomorrow is? It be Friday. For the dehydrating cabbage, is there any special tricks or anything? When I do it, I just shred it. I wouldn't try dehydrating the leaves whole. But shredding it for like coleslaws or soup, that style of shredding, should be just fine. I'm not making. What are we going to? Howie! Howard! Mr. Ofalaha! Tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day and we don't have a bit of corned beef or pickled pork in the house. Or cabbage. Not a potato or cabbage on the place. Except canned. Making blueberry pie filling using steam can. Well, that's different. That's fruit. You see, what you can steam can, anything you can water bath can. And please don't tell me that your grandmother used to water bath can meat, that she may have, and she got lucky nobody died. But guess what? The newer method is safer, therefore the one most recommended. But no, pie filling, like anything with large amounts of sugar and or vinegar and or salt are high acid, and you can can them in water bath or steam canning. My son set 6 traps to catch the leprechaun. Oh, good for him. Do you have your lucky charms? I said tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day, Mr. O'Falaha. And we don't have a bit of pickled pork or corned beef, cabbage, or fresh potatoes at all in the house. Well, it's not my fault. Well, yeah. Oh, well. I'm sorry. Didn't know you were sleeping. I know, corned beef hash, eh? Well, you can buy corned beef in the tin, eh? Like cousin Angie was showing me this tin. It's like a salmon tin, but it says corned beef. I said, "Well, yeah." I said, she said, "Well, what is it?" I said, "It's canned corned beef, and it's dense, but it's spreadable." My dad used to buy it, and it would come in like a spam tin almost. And he'd, take the key and all that stuff, and then he'd slice it. But if you wanted to, you could just mash it. It was that soft. Hey, Steven, how's it going, honey? It's not very good canned, but you know what? Every once in a while, it's not bad. Looks like someone might be taking off early to get the dinner home. I missed something there. Corned beef is $2.49 for flats or $1.99 a pound for points by me. Oh, wow. Just put some, well, I didn't need to. I'm drinking my special tea, and the milky water when I poured it over my tea bag was quite green. Last year they had a great sale on corned beef. Well, we're broke until probably mid-April, the end of April. So it's that time of year for us. January, February, March are just so. Is Howie bringing dinner home? No. I bet you're starting to set up for the season. You had to pay $3.99 a pound for corned beef in Ohio. I have one of those keys. What keys? I rode my bicycle past your window last night. Hi, Barbara M. So, yeah, we're just going to have... Now, wait a second. Might be something I can do. Nah, piss on it. We'll just have a regular supper. We had goulash tonight. Yes, we had goulash again. We eat that like twice a month. Easily. It would have been spaghetti, except I ran out of noodles. I'm out of pasta. Can you believe that? For the first time in probably 5 years, I'm out of pasta. You're part Irish. Howie's family, Foley, used to be Ofola. Like it's spelled Ofola, right? But it used to be Ofola. And then it became O'Foley, and then it became Foley. His descendants are from the Waterford area of Ireland. I know I love goulash. That's what we have for supper tonight. I have no idea what we're having tomorrow. No idea whatsoever. I might just throw some chicken legs in a Dutch oven and some potatoes and carrots and canned potatoes and carrots, and then throw some broccoli on top near the end. No, Wolfie is almost an anagram. I used to call Howie Wolfie. And I loved this movie called Amadeus. And it's about Mozart. And Mozart's wife, his name was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was his name. And he got married, and his wife called him Wolfie darling. She'd go, Wolfie darling. And, that's how Wolfie darling. So it from day one, I think from before the very first Christmas we had together, he got the nickname Wolfie, because I could call Howie, I could call Howard, anything like that in a store. He wouldn't hear me. But if I go, Wolfie darling, he goes, yes, my love. Boom. Like he's not going to do it now, obviously, because, he hears me talking about it. So Wolfie became a nickname. And then when we started playing poker online, when did we start doing that, dear? About 2003? Okay, I'll let you sleep, baby. And so Wolfie was taken on all the boards, of course. So he spelt it with a V, Wolfie. And I'm Mrs. Wolfie, because he wanted to make sure everybody on the internet knew I was married. So, can corned beef be home canned? It's not recommended, But if it is cooked, like I wouldn't raw pack corned beef. It would be way too dry and too strong if you raw packed it. But if you have leftover cooked corned beef, I bet you can cube that up and pour some broth or hot salted water over it or whatever. Like cooked, cubed, and water packed, like packed, hot packed. And yeah, I would can it just like any other meat. I've done it with ham. They say not to, but what they don't want you to do is to, sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit the phone. They don't want you like canning it like salmon or anything like that. They don't want you like packing it full, the jar full of cooked and then trying to can it like that. It's not a good idea. I can corned beef. It's cooked and broth added. There you go, Natalie. There you go. There's your answer right there. What's new? Not much. Not much. My grandbaby rolled over for the first time today. And my daughter-in-law asked me to teach her canning. Like she knows, but she's nervous about doing it the first time alone. And I get that. First time I learned about pressure canning, I was with someone who was doing it. And once I learned how to do it, I went out and bought one. So, I have fans all the time. I got fans all over the place. I mean, these kind of fans, right? Yes, the trees are tapped. The trees are tapped. We're getting sap. Howie tapped 18 trees. Oh, I broke it. Oh, no. I broke it. Oh. I'm hard on stuff, man. Yes, the trees are tapped. I know the duct tape doesn't really work very well. I know because I've got it on the back here somewhere. See, it's little spots, but it's a little delicate for duct tape. So, I know. I said, and when we had our FaceTime today, he's getting out full on gibberish sentences, like 5 and 6 different syllables and sounds. Lots of ooh ah. You know what I mean? But he was really serious when he was like he was really thinking about everything he was saying. And I was like, wow, really? And then I tried to talk alien back to him and he wasn't impressed. He got, it's like I was mocking him and he wasn't happy about that. Talk to me properly, Granny. The only reason I talk like this is because I haven't figured out how to work my mouth yet. I know. Maple syrup, yum. Ofolalada is in Irish. Foley is ofadlada, but it's pronounced ofola. It's got a whole bunch of. I know because I looked it up and got his tartan and his coat of arms and everything printed off and gave it to him for Christmas one year. Should I soak my okra seeds before starting indoors? If anyone knows, I have no opinion on okra. I have no idea how to grow it. I don't even know if I can grow it here. So, Lada is from old Irish names. Ah, okay. Okay, Nova, thank you. Overnight, Stephen says. Yes, soak your okra seeds, says Pam. Stephen says overnight. There you go. So, yeah, I had a wonderful conversation with my grandson today, and I think we're going to go visit on April Fool's Day, which is a Saturday, and because they're going to visit family elsewhere over Easter, and the following weekend is our race breakfast, and the weekend before Arthur's working, so we kind of have to make it all work. Make sure you plant okra in the hottest time of the summer. They love heat. See, that's the thing. I live in Canada. Quebec of all places. So, hey, Penny. Aloha. Hi, Natasha B. Too slimy for me. Well, I mean, it's got to be something that you either love. It's one of those things like liver. You either love it or hate it. The thing is, though, since I got through menopause, I'm not craving liver anymore. I mean, sometimes I think about it, but I'm not craving it anymore. I craved it. Oh my God. I'm craving liver when I order it in a restaurant. Out for a restaurant, I want liver and onions with lots of bacon, please, and gravy. But bread and deep fry, I use Old Bay on it. I have tried and tried to, what was that? Love the smell of liver cooking, hate the taste. I think for a lot of people, it's the texture. Do the celery seeds need a heat mat? I don't use them, but then my house is, my house is pretty warm. So, can you can Brussels sprouts? I don't recommend it because they're like little cabbages and they, there's layers of the leaves. Maybe if you cut the bottoms out and cut them in half, maybe, but I don't recommend it. I think they would come out really mushy. Oh yeah, love liver. Loved it back then. If get the bacon frying, get that pan full of the hot bacon grease, and you pull that almost crispy bacon off. You throw in them sliced onions. Oh, just saute them, caramelize them, and then you dredge you soak your for most of the day you soak your liver in milk or buttermilk. And then you dredge it in flour and salt and pepper. And the trick is you get the onions out of the way and you got that bacon grease on the bottom of the pan. You put that liver on there and it's like steak. You only turn it once. And you, for God's sakes, don't overcook it. But you just make sure it's like cooked halfway through and then you flip it. And then when it's cooked, you take it out on a plate and you make that gravy with the onions. And then you lay strips of bacon on top of that liver and you pile them caramelized onions on there. Oh. Then you pour gravy all over that. Oh, I tell you, I don't know what I'm talking about. It sounds good. Well, pickling's different because pickling is a vinegar thing. They're packed in vinegar, but you still have to be careful because they are a layered vegetable. Do you understand what I mean? They're a leafy layered vegetable like cabbage. So, pickled Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. Howie hates them, so there's no point in me, using any garden space on them. I like Mary. I know. What do pickle taste like? I've never even thought about that. The fried potatoes. No, mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes with the gravy and the liver and a big pile of steaming snap beans with butter. Oh, God. Goulash just didn't taste so good now. I wish I had liver. Maybe I'll make steaks tomorrow. Never seen Brussels sprouts in a can in the store-bought. See? That's what I think, Karen. Slice them in half, like take the little nubbins off, the little stalk off the bottom and slice them in half. But then you do run the risk of them falling apart in the jar. Yeah, mashed potatoes, the liver and the onions and the bacon, the mashed potatoes with the butter on and a little well there and the beans with the butter trickling down. You pour the gravy over the potatoes and the liver and the bacon. I'll tell you what. So, I wouldn't can them either. But then that's just me, right? That's just me. I mean, I may get Brussels sprouts one day just to have them. I remember back when I was on a calorie-reducing diet and I was working out and I was losing like 5 pounds a week. I was on a 1,500-calorie diet. And when I weighed the calories of a toasted bacon and tomato sandwich against a plate of Brussels sprouts in calories, I ate the Brussels sprouts. With spinach as the fish. What is on my foot? Peppy must have came to visit for a minute. But liver, no thank you. Well, I mean, I never liked it as a kid either. My sister, when she was a toddler, she'd eat it raw. Canning cabbage. Mary, I've canned cabbage several times. You can can cabbage, but it's a debubbling nightmare. Stinky feet. No, it's not alive. It just felt like a little presence settling down on my foot. And Peppy used to come in and sleep on my feet under my desk, in the knee hole of my desk. So I was a hot mess thinking, oh, I overspent more due to increased prices. Then I found out the truth, and I'm saying I just bought new beds for my sons and spent big bucks. It still wasn't me. Shredding it for canning? Honey, look at my canning. Yes, you can can cabbage. I can't, I do can it, but it's not as nice as frozen. Seriously. Every Friday, Mr. Farmer give free vegetables trying to preserve them. What? When I was a kid, Dad said, just try the liver. So I did. And when I touched it, my tongue puked all over the table. Never again. Oh my gosh, really? Huh. Well, I didn't like it as a kid, but I sure as heck started loving it when I was going through menopause. But puked all over the table. Never again. I guess they never tried to get you to eat that again. But yeah, I've got to get off here shortly and edit my video for tomorrow. And then I might make a St. Patrick's Day cake for me. I'm sorry you got sick. Well, I mean, sometimes like my kids ate everything I put in front of them, but there were some things they just flat out refused. And guess what? It's foods they didn't, if they were like, can't do it. No way. I'll be sick. Then it's like, you know what? Maybe they've got an allergy to it. Your body, you got to listen to your body too, right? My father once forced me to eat liver and I never ate it again. And I loved it till then. Oh, take care, Stephen. Give my love to Dan, eh? I made Irish soda bread once. I wasn't fond of it. So there's not going to be any special St. Patrick's Day shenanigans going on in my house tomorrow until Freaky Friday. Yes, Freaky Friday is on St. Patrick's Day this year. Oh, we're going to get into such shenanigans. Excuse me. So, all Patreon is it's a select few of people. There's not that many people. I think there's maybe 38 to 40 people. But about 10 of us show up between 6 and 10 every Friday night. And I don't know why, but today I got a whole bunch of, we're releasing the blah, 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 blah. I got copyright stuff and then they released it. It's like, I don't understand. But anyway, we get together on Friday nights. Some of us will have a special cup of tea. Some will have, a lemonade. Someone might have a martini. Someone might have a cup of tea or a cocoa or a glass of water. But what we do is we get rid of the doldrums and cares of the week by listening to music and just laughing and enjoying each other's company. And then when it's over, I delete it. So if you're a patron and you don't see the Freaky Fridays, you got to show up. They're one-offs every single time. Okay, Joe. Enjoy the green. Exactly. So that's all that Freaky Friday is. We get together and we talk on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then on Fridays, we celebrate the fact that we lived through another week without killing anybody. You know what I mean? So did they stop putting corks in wine bottles? I have no idea. I haven't had wine and I haven't had a drop of alcohol in over 25 years. So I can't say I haven't had a drop because I'm pretty sure artificial vanilla and stuff's got alcohol in it, but you know what I mean, right? With Evo, bacon and dribble of balsamic vinegar. I've heard that. You know what? I like them. I like to cut them in half. I soak them in like vinegar water, and then I cut them in half, and I fry bacon and onions. You feel the bacon and onions, right? And then I just throw once everything's all simmering and greasy and snapping and crackling and popping, I throw them Brussels sprouts in there and salt, not salt, pepper, and they're delicious. Fried and bacon. Mm-mm-mm. The last three didn't have one, and the taste is gone. Huh. Well, I said that about beer. Back in the days when we drank, when twist-offs came, beer didn't taste the same. And then I met Arthur's father, who would stop and buy quart beer in Quebec on his way home. Like, we lived in Ontario, and his family was in New Brunswick, and he would stop in Quebec on his way back to Ontario and buy quart beer. And I craved it. I was pregnant with Arthur. I craved it. I said, give me a sip of your beer. And I was like, it was like manna from heaven. So I said, I'm going to have me one of them. And I think it's because those bottles at the time did not have twist off caps. They had the old style of cap. And I think they traded off the convenience of for a slight change in the flavor on how it's packed. And then I felt guilty, and I told my doctor, I said, I drank a quart of beer, and he started laughing. He said, why? I said, because I was watching, the baby's father drink it, and my mouth started to water. So I took a sip, and I really wanted one. And he goes, there's a lot of good things in beer, as long as you don't overindulge. He said, one beer, I said it was a quart. He said, Bev, it's not going to bother you, right? But that was like, 1987. Right? I think I'm a bit weird. I don't really like bacon. Well, home bacon is the best. Home bacon is the best. Natasha B, I think I'm a bit weird. Not everyone loves bacon. Not everyone. I know lots of people who are vegetarians who don't like bacon. But, I credit bacon with being the sole reason I'm not a vegetarian. Because, who can live without bacon and the occasional thick, medium rare steak and chicken perka, chicken and rice? Yeah, I couldn't be a vegetarian. I could to a certain degree. I'm going to be getting back on my juicing and stuff soon. Because I put on a lot of weight this winter. I put on 15 pounds this winter. Your oldest hates bacon. Really? Until I started cooking it into meals. Same with tomatoes. Hey, Julie Skuga. How's it going? Jerry Carey. Bacon is my favorite item. It should be its own food group, isn't it? I think chocolate's its own food group because you got dark chocolate, light chocolate, bittersweet chocolate, white chocolate. I think it should be its own food group. I can't have a BLT without adding turkey or chicken and making it a club. I'm not, see, I phone, we've got, we took takeout once in a blue moon in the summertime, especially in hot weather. And Howie said, if you want takeout, call me, let me know. And he said, put the order in up at Les Chapelles and I'll pick it up. So I phoned them and, gave them the order. And I said, now I want a club with no mayonnaise, no chicken or turkey. She said, but that's just a BLT. I said, no, it's a club BLT. She said, okay. I said, no mayo, no meat. No mayo, no chicken or turkey. I just want bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes, bread, bacon, lettuce, tomatoes, bread, and fries. So I always have winter weight, but once spring comes, it has been dropping off again. Yeah, I'm chocolate has vitamins that we as kids knew, but grown-ups never understood. And yeah, we knew. It's like Howie. I always thought he was joking, but that guy's got a compass right there because he always seems to know where he's going and never has to ask directions. I was over 30 before I liked bacon, but again, I started cooking my food with bacon, like ham and pea soup or Alfredo with bacon in it. What am I going to make for a cake tomorrow? I don't want to make it too healthy. Maybe I'll just make a... But see, I've made everything on my Cooking with Cannabis channel. I don't want to do anything new and exciting just because it's new and exciting. Ooh. I make chocolate chip cookies. Yes. And I can divide the dough in half, and I can actually put my medicated decarbed ground cannabis in it, in my half, and drop of green food coloring. Beef bacon is also delicious. I've never heard of beef bacon. Sour cream pound cake. Hey, figs and quail. Applesauce cake sounds good. Maybe because I found a case of it last night at my front door. Applesauce? Applesauce cake. Yeah, I could do that. Make an applesauce raisin cake with cannabis. And then that, like, because Howie still has his snacks for, you know, the banana bread and the he said you know, the 3 breads I made on our half-acre homestead, the pumpkin, the applesauce, and the banana in the tri lasagna pan? He said the pumpkin tasted like pie. He said it's like somebody mixed a pumpkin pie into a cake. It's dense and moist, and he said it tastes just like pumpkin pie. Best thing in the summer, fresh garden tomato. Oh, sliced tomato on toasted homemade. See, everyone's like, yeah, you know, when I was a kid, it was butter on white bread and a hunk of tomato. But as I get older, I like it toasted with butter, salt, and pepper, and that's it. No mayo, no lettuce, no nothing. And I once the tomatoes, and I was so disappointed in my tomato yield last year because I didn't get any slicing tomatoes because the Brandywines had crossed with the Manitoba tomatoes. And so I should have been having slicing tomatoes at the end of July, and I wasn't. My 10-year-old tells me he's a vegetarian. He told me he was vegan until I told him about cheese. I do what I can to respect that, but he does love when I cook bacon. He gets popcorn after. Yeah, I think I'll have some popcorn tonight. Came with a case of canned carrots. Wow. Oh, see, I eat the cherry tomatoes too. I made the mistake of feeding Gracie a strawberry in the garden one year. I couldn't figure out why my strawberries were disappearing. She'd go out and help herself. I stopped. I actually threw them in, you know, if I get strawberry plants sometimes, the hanging ones, and I have fun with them. And then I toss them because I have wild strawberries growing here. So they might as well just get in line, you know. I can't find jars at any of our stores, really. You know what, Mary Jo? I like it too. My dog, yeah, I like it too. There's something my dad taught me when I was little. And when Uncle Joe had brought this bushel of tomatoes from his allotment garden. God, right down on the harbor front. Oh, God, the soil was so toxic. But we didn't know, right? Anyway, my dad said, watch this. He said, eat that like an apple. He said, here, have a bite, because I wanted a sandwich. He said, don't you bite it. I said, no. And he goes, watch. And he bit into this tomato, and it ran down his chin, and he put salt and pepper on it, and he bit into it again. And I couldn't help myself. He said, here, try it. And I was like hooked. So when I'm out in the garden, I have a little Tupperware. Remember the Tupperware plastic picnic salt? I keep one in the glove box of my truck. So if I get a particularly good tomato, I'll just go and reach the salt and take a bite. I can't keep my dog out of the cherry tomatoes. That would be tough. He loves the smell of bacon. He comes out and tells me, but he doesn't want to eat it. I respect that. I also motivate him to learn to cook besides himself, and I tell him I do. Good. I've known people. I remember watching my brother Bill when he was buffing up he was losing weight but gaining muscle. He was playing football, right? And he would eat an onion and a chunk of cheese like that. My Cocker Spaniel pulled tomatoes off the vine and eats them. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't encourage that. Anyway, guys, now it's time to say good night. I have work to do, and I am going to say a prayer. If you don't want to stay, that's absolutely fine. Nobody judges you if you don't stay. But this is where we come together and reach out hearts and hands across the world, and from wherever we are. And you link to your faith and I'll link to mine. You talk to your faith and I'll talk to mine. And somewhere where our hands and hearts meet is the true message, which is love, right? So, for all those who care to, please help me close with some spiritual nourishment. Let's do some deep cleansing breaths. Good night. If you're not staying, good night. God bless. Mwah, I love you. And we'll see you on Sunday at about 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, let's do some deep breathing. Hey, God, creator and source of everything. How's it going? Thank you, God, for giving me the energy and strength I needed today to get my canning done. Thank you for the beautiful maple syrup weather. Thank you for everything. Thank you for my friends, my family, my kids, my grandson, my husband, my dog, everybody on the internet who shows up here every day, or on our Half Acre Homestead or Reading with Beverly Wolfie, or on Rumble every day to connect with me, so that we can connect with each other. God, we've built such a wonderful community, and I'm so grateful for that. A lot of people out there, God, are waking up and realizing that they've been being duped by fear tactics. A lot of people are having a hard time dealing with, levels of emotion, family business, past trauma, medical issues, neglect, reject, addiction, all of these things that make it hard sometimes for them to be able to look up into the sky and appreciate it for the moment, So, God, we lift those people up to you so that the sunlight and shine and warmth of your love can pour down on them and help them put one foot in front of the other to get through another day. So thank you, God, for that. And we know where our strength comes from, but sometimes people just need extra help. All right? Amen. Shalom. Namaste. Peace be with you. Merry meet, merry part. Miigwech, blessed be. Walk in the shining light of God's love, whatever language you use to talk to your higher power or the source of your faith. You know, I've gotten angry at God, and he always understood because he loves me. So doesn't it make sense that we learn the language of love for each other always? Take care. God bless.